skill between 32 area high school teams. Brought to you by the Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company of Indianapolis.
Hello, and we welcome you aboard to our contest today. This is the first appearance for our two teams. We're rounding out the second half of our schedule. It takes 5 wins to become the champion for 1978-79 here in the Brain Game. Both of our teams today are looking for their first win to move on into competition. Have some veterans from Thomas Carr Howe High School and students from Emmerich Manual, some veterans down there as well. We'll meet them all individually a bit later on in our program. Judge for all of the answers that our students give is Dr. Lynn Youngblood, who is Dean of Indiana Central University. And we invite you to play along at home if you'd like. Each of our questions is worth 2 points, and we will have a couple of bonuses along the way, too. So if you're all set up there, students, here comes our first question of the day. Which war was the costliest in terms of lives in history? Tom?
Civil War?
No. How? Andy?
World War I?
No, it was the Second World War, so no points to either side on that. This is a 2-part question, so listen carefully, if you will. When was the geographically largest land negotiation in the history of the United States?
1803, the Louisiana Purchase.
Okay, that's not the complete question, so I'll have to give you a no at that time. I'll repeat the question for Howe. When was the geographically largest?
Throw it out because it should have been what was the, and they already gave 2 parts. I say let's toss out the.
Okay, just toss it out? Okay. What we were talking about, the Louisiana Purchase, $15 million, so I guess rather than create some problems, we'll let it bypass. Washington Irving wrote his famous story, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, and the central figure was a gawky schoolmaster. What was, yes, Matt?
Ichabod Crane.
That is correct. 2 points to Manuel there, Ichabod Crane. First bonus qualifying question. Get this one correct, and the next one will be worth 4 points and unopposed. But the qualifier. What was the name of the detective that hounded Jean Valjean in Victor Hugo's book? Nobody? Javert. Javert. No points to either side, no bonus. Edward Gibbon's great literary contribution is entitled what, Dan?
Rise and Fall of the Roman Empire.
That is correct. Pick up 2 points on that question to Howe. Take a look at the monitor, if you will, on this question, students. We want to know which of these 3 artists painted this piece. Your selections are Picasso, Rivera, or Degas.
Rivera.
Elizabeth, Rivera is right. 2 points to Manuel. That is correct. Name the 2 comedians who teamed up in 1927. And Rick, Howe, your first answer.
Abbott and Costello.
No. Let me complete the question for Manuel here. Name the 2 comedians who teamed up in 1927 and won an Academy Award for the film The Music Box in 1932. Yes, Pete.
Laurel and Hardy.
Laurel and Hardy is the correct answer we get there. 2 points on that one. I want you to name the couple who recently tested the Oregon wife rape law. Yes, Tom. Manuel.
Rideouts.
Rideouts is correct. 2 points to Manuel. Name the former Cambodian chief of state recently appearing before. Yes, Tom.
Pol Pot.
No. Let me complete the question for Howe. Name the former Cambodian chief of state recently appearing before the UN. Prince Norodom Sihanouk. No points on either side. What name is given to a letter written by the Pope to the bishops of the church, which is in turn handed down to the laity? Yes, Pete.
Papal Bull.
No. No. How? Nobody? It's called an encyclical. Encyclical. Okay, and we will pause at the very beginning of our program for this message from Pepsi-Cola. 8-2 is the score with Manuel in the lead. We'll be right back. Or the first round competition here between Howe and Manuel. Another 2-part question, not 2-part question, 2-point question. The stars known as the Pleiades are part of which constellation? Yes, go ahead, Matt. Manuel?
Orion.
No. Anybody at Howe? Nobody? The Pleiades, or the 7 sisters, are part of the constellation of Taurus. Taurus, no points. Want you to tell me, the gentleman, whose principle states that an equilibrium system will proceed to relieve a stress placed upon it. Rick?
Newton.
No. Anybody at Manuel? Yes, Matt?
Galileo.
No, like Cantilier's principle. Cantilier? The famous ink blot test is known as what, Rick?
The Rorsch.
No, cannot accept that. Manual?
Rorschach.
No, Rorschach. Rorschach, so I don't think we could accept either one of those. No points on either side. Take a look at the monitor here. What is the value of x? It's 3x plus 3 equals x minus 7. Andy of Howe.
Square root of 3 1/3.
No. Manual?
Negative
Pete?
5.
Negative 5 is the answer. Yes, 2 points to Manual on that one. What is 24 times 26? Nobody? All right, Matt?
480.
No. How? Anybody? 624. 624. All right, name this rock hit played by the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
Battle of New Orleans.
That's right, Battle of New Orleans. Pick up 2 more points to Manual. Score goes 12-2 now. Listen to this classic, and I want you to name the opera from which it comes. Right, the Toreador song. Pick up 2 more points to Manual there. Have a spelling word for you. Spell the word instantaneous. Rick, how?
I-N-S-T-A-N-T-A-N-E-O-U-S.
That is correct. 2 points to Howe. Who was Sojourner Truth? A freed slave who fought for equal rights. No points on either side. This is the bonus qualifier. What was Dorothea Dix's chief contribution? Yes, Rick, how?
Women's rights.
No. Manual? And it's Matt?
Women's suffrage.
No, she really worked to correct the treatment of the insane who were imprisoned with criminals. So no bonus to anybody on that one. Known as the inventor of the mobile, this artist was also famous for his earlier work, which was a miniature circus. Who was the artist? All right, go ahead, Matt. Harrison. How? Anybody? No. Many of his works over here at the Children's Museum. Alexander Calder. All right, no point. This art medium historically uses a technique of cut and pasted paper. Its name is a French derivation. Yeah. Raj is right. 2 points to Howe. By what name do we know the painter Domenico Theo? Yes, Rick, help me out.
Salvador Dali.
No, not that. Manual?
El Greco.
El Greco, that's right. Thank you, Matt. That last name must have about 16 syllables in it. Name a place prominent in Arthurian literature where King Arthur held court. Scott. Camelot. Camelot is right. 2 points to Howe. What mythological hero fashioned wings from feathers and wax? Rick?
Icarus.
No. Let me complete the question for Manual. What mythological hero fashioned wings from feathers and wax for himself and his son, Icarus? Pardon me? Yes, that is correct. 2 more points for Manual on that question. 18-8 is our score now with Manual in the lead. What is the name of the narrator in Herman Melville's Moby Dick? Ishmael is right. 2 points for Manual. What was the name of the former name of Zaire?
Belgian Congo.
Congo is right. Pick up 2 points to Dan and Howe up there. What was the name of the great ancient site in England consisting of a ring of huge stones? Rick.
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge. That's right. 2 more points to Howe. What type of animal is a petrel? Elizabeth.
A bird.
A bird. Can we accept? Yes, we can accept that. 2 points to seabird. Pick up 2 more points to Manual. Name the South African doctor who pioneered heart. Yes, Matt. Manual. Christian Bernard is right. 2 more points to Manual. 24-12 is the score. Manual in the lead. What name is given to the battle fought June 4th through the 6th in 1942? Tom, your first answer. I'll call time. Let me complete the question here so we can start all over again. So reset, if you will, on Howe up there, please. What name is given to the battle fought June 4th through the 6th in 1942, which is generally regarded as the most decisive battle of World War II in the Pacific? Andy.
The Battle of Midway.
That is correct. Battle of Midway, and 2 points to Howe. 24-14 is the score now. The first major crisis in the system of primogenitive occurred in England after the death of who? Yes, Rick, how?
Henry VIII.
That is correct. You got 2 more points. And we will pause at this particular point in our program. Score now is 24-16. Emmerich Manuel is in the lead. Before we continue on, we'd like you to meet some of the students that are participating in Brain Game this year, specifically, first off, from Thomas Carr Howe High School, Mr. Frank Tautas, principal of all the students there. Faculty advisors are Ron Finkbinder and Errol Spears to their Brain Game team. Andy will ask for your full name, grade, and what your future plans are.
My name is Andy Wilkinson. I'm a senior, and I plan to study math or law at Wabash College.
And you've been here how long?
This is my 2nd year.
Well, he's been here about a half hour now,
Yeah.
but I mean, your second, does it seem to get any easier? Does it help new members of your team or help you in practice?
Well, right now I'm not doing as good as I did last year.
All right. Rick?
My name is Rick Vanderman. I'm a senior at Howe. I'd like to go to Wabash and major in pre-med, and I'd like to mention our alternates, Mark Holm and Dan Schenkel.
All right. And this is how many years for you, Rick?
3rd.
3rd. What, any comments or feelings about that?
Never gets any easier.
It doesn't. Okay. John?
My name's John Solberg, and I plan to study engineering at Purdue.
Okay. And Dan?
I'm Dan Hawkins. I'm a senior at Howe, and I plan to go to Indiana State, and my major's undecided.
Okay. There you have all the students from Howe High School. Gene Austin is principal of the students at Emmerich Manual, their faculty advisor to the Brain Game team. It's Tony Hammer, and Pete will begin with you, please.
My name is Pete Massengill. I'm a junior at Manual, and I wish to go to college with an interest in science and math, but I don't know where yet.
Okay. Matt?
Yeah, my name is Matt McAllister. I'm a senior at Manual, and I hope to study humanities at Purdue University.
Okay. And Tom?
My name is Tom Maxwell. I'm a junior at Manual, and I plan to study journalism at IU. And I'd like to mention our alternate is Marty Atkinson.
Now, even as a junior, you've had some experience here, too, haven't you?
Yes, my second year.
Do you really feel is that a help or not? No, it is not a help. Okay, Elizabeth?
My name is Elizabeth Krieger. I plan to go to college and study law, but I have not decided where yet.
Okay, we wish you all success in your future endeavors. There you have the students from Emmerich Manual High School. It's 24-16 with Manual in the lead. We've got more of the Brain Game coming, and in the next segment, a couple of minute quizzes, so a lot can change. We hope you'll stay tuned. Winner of today's match, of course, moves on. Will be seen again on the 3rd of March, battling Beech Grove at that time in 2nd round competition. But we have to determine things for this afternoon. Next buzzer, of course, will mean it's minute quiz time. Until then, though, who succeeded Edward VI of England?
Queen
Yes,
Elizabeth? Queen
Pardon?
Elizabeth, the first, the second.
No. Andy.
Elizabeth I.
No, it was Mary the First. Mary the First is the answer we had there. No points on that question. Bonus qualifier for you. In 1776, a Scottish philosopher published a book which remains a pillar in the free market economic system. Go ahead, Rick. First answer.
Adam Smith.
I guess I'm going to have to say no. Let me complete the question here from Manuel. Bonus qualifier. In 1776, a Scottish philosopher published a book which remains a pillar in the free market economic system. We want you to name the book and its author. The author is Adam Smith. The book is The Wealth of Nations. Okay, so you now pick up on the bonus and no score over there. Please set, if you will, up there, please. Now, who wrote these lines of verse? Candy is dandy, but liquor is quicker. Yes, Rick? That's correct. 2 points. Ogden-Nash is right. 2 more points to Howe. They call a group of pheasants a nide. They call a group of bees a swarm. What do they call a group of oxen? Okay, Rick.
Herd.
A herd? That is not correct. Emmerich Manuel, go ahead, Matt.
A lot.
No.
A lot.
Okay, they call it a yoke. They call it a yoke. If you're wondering why I'm laughing, we had a similar question like this one time, and instead of saying the word pheasants, I said peasants, and it should have been the other way around. An American Tragedy was written and published in 1925. Who was its author? Yes, go ahead, Matt. Manuel.
Jones.
No. How, anybody? Theodore Dreiser. What psychotic disorder is characterized by delusions of persecution? Rick, how?
Paranoia.
That is correct. 2 points. Where in the world is Patagonia? Yeah, go ahead, Tom. Manual.
Southeast Asia.
No. Anybody at Howe? Go ahead, Rick.
South America.
Can we...
Be more specific.
I know it's in South America.
Okay. The judge says yes, pick up 2 points. Tip of South America, cutting across Argentina and Chile. So Howe gets 2 points on that. We have a 22-24 score. Name the World Boxing Council light heavyweight champion. Tom.
Marvin Johnson.
Marvin Johnson of Indianapolis. That is correct. 2 points. Name the Speaker Pro Tem of the Indiana Senate. Yes, Andy.
John Mudd.
No. Anybody? Martin Edwards. No point. Two-part question. I urge you to listen carefully to the complete question. Leonid Brezhnev is the chief of the Soviet Communist Party. Alexei Kosygin is the Soviet premier. But who is the official head of the Soviet state, and what is his title? Nobody? Nikolai Podgorny, and he is president of the proceedings. Okay? That means it is minute quiz time, and by virtue of their 4-point lead, Manuel here has the option of first selection of questions. Matt, you're to be the spokesman. You'd like questions from where? B. From B. All right. Now, speed answers to Matt for the rest of you. Matt, either an answer or just say pass. Before I move on to the next question, the object, of course, is to get as many correct answers as you can in the next 60 seconds. So if you're all set, students of Manuel, here is your first minute quiz question. Who was the initial commander for the first expedition successfully circumnavigating the world?
Magellan.
What figure is Uncle Sam's equivalent in England?
John Bull.
Name the famous battle fought in the Belgium in June 18th, 1850.
Battle of the Bulge.
Name the capital city of Japan.
Tokyo.
Give the month, day, and year of the World War I armistice.
November 11th, 1918.
What group fought the Romans in the Punic Wars?
Carthaginians.
Who wrote the historical novel Alice of Old Vincennes?
Booth Tarkington.
What metal has the lowest melting point?
Mercury.
Name the sacred scriptures used by Islam.
Pass.
If one called a person gravid, what does it mean?
Sad.
Addis Ababa is the capital of what country?
Ethiopia.
In Roman mythology, what was Pomona the goddess of?
Beauty.
Pardon me, I didn't hear you.
Beauty.
Okay, we completed 12 questions on the minute quiz to Manuel down there. They came up with 7 correct answers, so students, you pick up an additional 14 points to their score, which is all right. Now, up at Howe, Rick, you're the man of the hour, and again, speed answers to him in either the word pass, Rick, or an answer before I move on to the next question, okay? And if you're all set up at Howe, here is your first minute quiz question. Which American president was also later a U.S. Chief Justice?
Taft.
What state is known as the Equality State?
Kansas.
Who was the Union commander at the Battle of Gettysburg?
Meade.
In what year did Washington become the nation's official capital?
1793.
Within 5 million square miles, how large is the Pacific Ocean?
Pass.
The War of Roses involved what 2 houses?
York and Scarborough.
What Spanish conquistador led the search for the 7 cities?
Cortez.
What is the chemical formula for ozone?
Pass.
Name the military campaigns formed for the purpose of rescuing the Holy Land.
Crusades.
Used with cattle, what does polled mean?
Pass.
Which peninsula is the world's largest?
Mexico.
What book of the Bible tells of the creation of the world?
Genesis.
Give the literary... Okay, we went through 12 questions also in the 60 seconds, came up with 4 correct answers on there, so they pick up an additional 8 points to their score. So we pack it all together, and what do we have here? Have a 40-30 score with Manuel in the lead, and we'll try to get through as many questions as we can in the remaining time. 2-point question. Name of the great artery leading from the heart. Yes, Rick? Your first
Aorta.
answer. Aorta is correct. Pick up 2 points there. What is the principal vocation in Ireland? Andy, how?
Farming.
Pardon me?
Farming.
Okay, that is correct. Pick up 2 points there. In Greek mythology, who was the god of roads, commerce, invention, cunning, and theft? Rick?
Athena.
No. Manuel? Elizabeth?
Apollo.
It was Hermes, also the god of messengers. No points. Bonus qualifier. Homer begins his story of Odysseus in medias res. What does this term mean? Yes, Matt.
King of the sea.
No. How? In the middle of things. No bonus, no points. Who was the recipient for the first Pulitzer Prize in Poetry in 1922? Yes, Matt?
Robert Frost.
No. How? Edwin Arlington Robinson. No points. What is the best-selling book by Alvin Toffler? It is about...
Future
yes?
Shock.
Future Shock is right. 2 points to Howe. What is the name of the present U.S. Commerce Secretary? Rick?
Juanita Krebs.
That is correct. 2 more points. How is a cubit measured? Yes, Rick?
It's from here to here.
From where?
Tip of your finger to up here by the head.
No. Manual.
Tip your finger to the tip of your elbow.
Yes, that's more correct. Pick up 2 points to Manual there. The square of the radius of the base times the height times 3.1414. Yes, Rick?
Cone.
Yes, that is correct. 2 points to Howe. We have a 42-40 score now. Want you to name 3 of the 5 subatomic particles in radioactive decay of an element. 3 of 5. Okay, go ahead, John.
Alpha, beta, and gamma.
Yes, I guess we can we accept that? Pick up 2 points there to Howe. That is correct. The English horn is a member of what family of instruments?
Brass.
No. Howe, Andy.
Woodwind.
Woodwind is right. Pick up 2 points to Howe. We now have a 44-42 score. Who won the Nobel Prize for the work Anna Christie? Yes, Rick?
Leo Tolstoy.
No. Manuel? Eugene O'Neill, no points. How does the crocodile, which always follows Captain Hook, Peter Pan's enemy, alert the people of Hook's? Yes, Matt?
He has an alarm clock in his stomach.
That is correct. Pick up 2 points to Manuel. Look at this painting. The style of architecture suggests which one of the following American Indian tribes? The Pueblo, the Sioux, or...
Pueblo.
Yes?
Pueblo.
Pueblo is right. 2 points to Howe. That is correct. What is the capital city of Thailand? Andy, Howe? Okay, Manuel, your option here? Bangkok, no points. In what country was the world's record for the lowest temperature recorded? Yes, Pete, Manuel?
Russia.
We accept Russia? Yes, 2 points. That is correct. Siberia more specifically. What is the name of the proposition that the countries of Europe... Yes, Andy, your first answer.
The common market.
No, let me complete it for Manuel. What is the name of the proposition that countries of Europe band together to survey their resources for reconstruction after World War II? Yes, Matt.
The Marshall Plan?
That is it. 2 points to Manuel, the Marshall Plan. It's 48-46 now. What is the name of the social, economic, and political system described by Sir Thomas More in a fictional work? The Greek word meaning nowhere.
Utopia.
Utopia is right. You pick up 2 points to Howe. Charles Dickens' idea of a businessman is epitomized through what character in Hard Times? Joshua Bonditti. No points there. And we will continue on here. We will continue on. Name the organ through which a developing mammalian obtains nourishment.
Mammary gland.
Yes, it is Rick. How?
It would be through the placenta.
That is correct, through the placenta, and I think that was the deciding question in today's contest. We'll validate our scores, and we'll be back in just a moment. Well, it was the last-second win in a very exciting match today. Thomas Carr Howe victorious 50-48. They, of course, will move on into second-round competition, meeting Beech Grove on March the 3rd. Thank you very much for being with us. We thank all the students, and congratulations. We're really an excellent showing today. Look forward to seeing you all in here next week at this same time, okay?
The Brain Game was brought to you by the Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company of Indianapolis, inviting you to...
All right, before we continue on, or before we hit our minute quiz, we will continue on. It's 48-18 with Lawrence North in the lead. Another 2-point question as soon as I get my mouth fixed here. Name the highest point in the U.S. east of the Mississippi River. Okay, Peter?
Mount McHenry.
No. Bob?
Stone Mountain.
It's Mount Mitchell in the Appalachians. Mount Mitchell, no points to either side. This new cabinet member has replaced Brock Adams as the new Secretary of Transportation. Neil Goldschmidt. No points. What American civil rights leader was denied a meeting with top Israeli leaders during, Bob?
Jesse Jackson.
Jesse Jackson is correct. 2 points to Lawrence North. Beowulf is an example of what style of, Bob?
Epic poetry.
That is correct. 2 more points to Lawrence North. What is a euphemism, Bob?
It's a politer term for a somewhat vulgar term.
Okay, pick up 2 points to Lawrence North on that. This one will be a bonus qualifier, students. Who became Prime Minister of Great Britain on May 10, Steve, your first answer.
Thatcher.
No. Let me complete the question then for Manuel. Who became Prime Minister of Great Britain on May 10, 1940? Okay.
Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill is right. Pick up 2 points on that one. So, a bonus here. This is available to only Manual students, worth 4 points if you get it correct. What is meant when one is called polemic? Nobody? A person is inclined to argue. Okay, no bonus. So we have a 54-20 score. 2-pointer here. The prehistoric remains on Salisbury Plain served as a temple for the priesthood of the Druids. Name the remains. Yes, Pete?
Stonehenge.
Stonehenge is right. 2 points to Manuel. What is the word for the use of statistical or mathematical calculation in biology? Anybody? Pete?
Stoichiometry.
No. Lawrence North? Anybody? Biometrics. Biometrics is the term we need. No points. Millipeds belong to which phylum? Anthropoda. Anthropoda? Anthropoda? No points. What is the name of the mountain on which Moses received the 10? Bob?
Sinai.
That's correct. 2 points to Lawrence North. What is the name of the polygon having 7 sides? Go ahead, David.
Heptagon.
That is it. Heptagon. 2 points to Manuel. What is the geometric interpretation of the first derivative? Bob.
The sine.
The sine. Should we? No. Dr. Youngblood says no. Manuel, go ahead, Pete. No, the slope of the tangent line to the curve. Okay. Does that mean it is minute quiz time? Well, by virtue of their lead, 56-24 here, Lawrence North has the option of selecting questions for our minute quiz from packet B, which I have, and I think I have A in here somewhere. Okay. A or B? And
A.
It will be A first. Okay, Bob, you're to be the spokesman. Now, again, what will happen here, try to get through as many questions as we can within 60 seconds, accepting answers only from Bob. But wait for the input from your fellow students there. And if you're all set, either an answer or the word pass before I move on to the next question. If you're all set at Lawrence North, here is your first minute quiz question. Who was known as the Iron Duke?
Pass.
Name the U.S. president who served the shortest term in office.
Harrison.
Who wrote Look Homeward, Angel?
Wolf.
What was the last thing left in Pandora's box?
Hope.
What British writer wrote Lord of the Flies?
Pass.
Who was Bloody Mary?
Mary Queen of Scots.
What nation leads the Warsaw Pact?
Soviet Union.
Who was the only female recipient of the Nobel Prize in Literature from America?
Pearl Buck.
What was O. Henry's pseudonym?
William Sidney Porter was his real name.
Who was the first and only president to be elected to 2 non-consecutive
Taft.
terms? Where did the War of the Black and Tan take place?
India.
On what great literary work is West Side Story based?
Romeo and Juliet.
This has been the home of British sovereigns since Queen Victoria in 1837.
Buckingham Palace.
Okay. And we completed 13 questions out of the minute quiz there. Make my notations. Lawrence North came up with 9 correct answers, so they pick up an additional 18. I need a little prompting there. 2 times 9 is 18, I guess, even on Saturdays here. So they pick up an additional 18 points to their score. Now, packet B. Pete, you're to be the spokesperson down at Manual. And if you are all set, down only in respect that I'm sitting a little higher than they are. Let's not controversy there. Okay, and wait for answers, either a pass or an answer of some kind. You all set? Okay, for Manual, here's their first minute quiz question. In 1607, what was the first permanent English settlement in America called?
Jamestown.
Who wrote the novel The Oregon Trail?
Pass.
Which was the first state to ratify the Constitution?
Delaware.
Who composed Porgy and Bess?
Cole Porter.
What British train was involved in the Great Train Robbery?
Pass.
Where did General Lee surrender to General Grant?
Mathematics.
Who was the writer of the famous American short story The Lottery?
Shirley Jackson.
Shirley Jackson.
Name the period in Europe characterized by the rediscovery of ancient Greek and Roman culture.
Pardon? Renaissance.
Name the eccentric old lady created by Charles Dickens in Great Expectations.
Miss Havisham.
Who was both a mother of a president and wife of a president?
Mrs. Adams.
Who was the first Holy Roman Emperor?
Pass.
Name the famous Dutch artist who used a theatrical kind of trapdoor lighting for his paintings.
Rembrandt.
Who was the first European to see the eastern shore of the Pacific Ocean? Go ahead, you can answer that one yet.
St. Clark.
Okay, you also completed 13 questions on the minute quiz. 8. They picked up 8 correct answers, so they pick up an additional 16 points to their score on the minute quiz there. Okay, students, with time remaining, let me get a hold of more of my questions and we will continue on. It is 70-40 with Lawrence North in the lead. Another 2-point question. The Spanish Baroque painter who painted elongated figures and flickering Elizabeth? El Greco is right. 2 points to Manuel. About 300 American scientists are conducting 80 different research projects in search of a million-year-old fossils and meteorites. In what remote part of the world are these projects underway? Rick.
Antarctica.
That is correct. 2 points to Lawrence North. What was the name of the Russian spy exchanged for U-2 pilot Francis Gary Powers? Colonel Rudolph Abel. No points. Bonus question here, a bonus qualifier on this one. On what battleship was the Japanese surrender of Bob?
Missouri.
Missouri is right. The surrender of World War II. That is 2 points. A 4-pointer available to only Lawrence North. Who was the author of Don Quixote? Bob?
Cervantes.
Cervantes is right. Pick up 4 points on that one to Lawrence North. Their score goes 82-42 now. In what province is the federal capital of Canada, Ottawa, located? Steve?
Ontario.
Ontario is correct. 2 points to Lawrence North. What state is called the Hawkeye State? Bob?
Iowa.
Iowa is correct. Within 5,000 miles, estimate the diameter of the sun. Bob?
1 million.
No. Go ahead, Peter.
96,000.
No, 865,400. So no points to either side. Want to reset down there, if you will, on manual, please. And in what year did Galileo discover the telescope? Within 3 years. Within 3. Bob?
1607.
3. That's right on. Okay, 1610, so we'll accept that. Pick up 2 points to Lawrence North. What city hosted the 1968 Summer Olympics? Bob?
Mexico City.
Mexico City is 2 points correct. What is the term used to describe the retention of unnecessary jobs? Anybody? Feather bedding. Feather bedding. In music, what does largo mean? Elizabeth?
Slow.
That is correct. 2 points to Manuel. The ancient city of Damascus was capital of what country? Bob?
Syria.
That's 2 points to Lawrence North. Well, Lawrence North victorious today. They have first of the 5 required victories under their belt now. They will be returning and will meet the winner of next week's match between Broad Ripple and Arsenal Tech. We thank Manuel for being with us. Look forward to seeing your team in here again next year. We will see you, Lawrence North, again shortly. We hope to see you next week, and thank you very much for being with us. See you then.
The Brain Game was brought to you by the Pepsi-Cola Bottling Company of Indianapolis, inviting you to have a Pepsi Day.